outdoorsman, mystery writer, his latest Dead Game, visiting us from California, Kirk Russell on Charles Snider Show.
I want you to get together.
You are an outdoorsman. Love the mountains, the waters, the wild. How did that inspire you to become the background and setting for so many of your books?
Oh, I'd written a different type of story. My wife has a restaurant in San Francisco, and I'd written a story with a restaurant owner, and then through that had a poaching subplot with an undercover warden. Got to know this fish and game team, and then that was a perfect marriage. And when I met them, I thought, here's the thing I can really write, and care a lot about.
What had you written previously? What had been your genres prior?
I've always written in crime fiction, but my first published novel was about 4 years ago. Just now on my third.
And it follows would that be Shell Game?
Shell Games, which was set up on the North Coast, the Night Game in the mountains, and now this story is set in the Delta, Dead Game.
Granted, with the setting, outdoors, corruption, is there a little moral message also, in addition to the thrilling?
Well, here's the fun thing. I kind of got to know this undercover team in California, and they took me along on surveillances and some busts and a few stings, and got to see how they work. There are about 10 of them, and they're out there on their own all the time. They're really aimed at this global market, and the leader of that, I thought, just there's a chance to write a kind of hero, a quiet hero off the radar screen, and in these inveigled plots that, tonight, what are they doing? They might be walking into some little mountain bar and buying the guy at the end of the counter a drink on the hope that he'll introduce him to somebody next week. It's just all seat of the pants, as well as trying to be, very careful.
And you've lived it.
I got to see just a glimpse of it, but I've certainly tried to write stories that catch a little of what I've seen.
What's next? What's coming up 2006?
I live in the Bay Area and love San Francisco. I've written a story set in San Francisco with a homicide inspector. Kind of been hanging out with them now. So
cool, unusual crowd.
They're fun.
You swing around with
those homicide inspectors are very, as you would expect. They're really kind of catch everything, and they're pretty sophisticated.
Sophisticated interview, my friend. Thank you, Kirk. Kirk Russell, latest book, Dead Game, on Charles Snider Show. We'll be back.